Good morning, everyone. My name is Abrar Mahmood Choudhury. Today, our group will present verbal and non-verbal communication with the Chinese gesture symbol implications and Eurovision. China is one of the largest business market. However, successful communication in China depends on not only language but also an understanding culture, relationships, and not verbal signals. In this presentation, we will explore how Chinese communication differs from Western communication and why understanding this communication difference is essential for international business. Let's begin. Chinese communication is deeply influenced by Confucian philosophy, Taoism, and traditional social values. Unlike many Western cultures, Chinese people often communicate indirectly instead of saying exactly what they think, like prefer suitable expression that help maintain respect for the company. In business, relationships often matter more than contracts. Understanding both spoken and unspoken messages is therefore very important. Cultural foundation. Chinese communication is considered high context communication. Like, as we can see in our left side, this means that people understand meaning not only through word but also through tone of voice, body languages, silences, and the relationship between the speakers. On the other hand, another important is holistic thinking. Instead of focusing on one issue at the time, Chinese decision make usually consider the entire situation and how everything is connected. And the philosophical roots, Chinese communication is strongly influenced by two different concepts. The first is Renzi Hexi, which means interpersonal harmony. People try to avoid open conflict because maintaining peaceful relationship is highly valued. And the second concept is Yin and Yang, which teaches us opposite idea can exist together. As a result, communication becomes flexible, balanced, and adapted to a different situation rather than completely direct. Thank you for listening me. Now I will hand over the next part to my next teammate, Mr. Ariful Islam Alfi. Thank you.
Now I'll explain the external environment and Amgen's competitive advantages. First, we analyze the company using the PESTEL framework. Politically, governments are supporting biosimilars through regulatory pathway. Economically, healthcare providers are looking for lower-cost alternatives to expensive biomedicines. Socially, aging populations and chronic disease continue increasing demand. Technological advantages like AI and digital manufacturing are improving drug development. Environmental regulations encourage sustainable manufacturing. Finally, legally, many important biologic patents are expiring, creating excellent opportunities for biosimilars. Overall, these factors creates a favorable environment for Amgen's growth. Next, we analyzed industry competition. Buyer power is high because insurance companies and healthcare providers negotiate aggressively on price. Competitive rivalry is also high. with the companies like Pfizer, Sandoz, and Celltrion competing in the same market. In the entrants face significant barriers due to high investment cost and strict regulations. Supplier power is moderate, like substitutes remain relatively limited. Therefore, the biosimilar industry is attractive mainly for established companies like Amgen. Using the Vero framework, we identified Amgen's strong competitive advantages. Its manufacturing capacity is valuable, rare, difficult to imitate, and well organized. The company regulatory expertise is another major strength. Amgen also has strong relationship with healthcare providers worldwide. These capabilities allow the company to compete effectively in the biosimilars market. Business portfolio. Finally, we applied the innovation ambition matrix. Core innovations include Amgen's established biologic medicines. Biosimilars are classified as adjacent innovation because they use existing manufacturing capabilities while entering new product market. Future AI-driven therapies belong to transformational innovation. We recommend following the 70-20-10 resource allocation rule, balancing current business, biosimilars, and future innovations. Now I will hand over to speaker 3. Thank you.
Now I would like to talking about business card equity in China, which may seem like a small detail, but is actually a very crucial part of Chinese business culture. In many Western countries, people often exchange business cards quickly and immediately put them into a wallet or their pocket. However, in China, a business card is much more than just a piece of paper. It represents the personal identity, personal status, company, and reputation. Because of this, business cards are treated with great respect. Uh, when giving your business card, you should always present it using both hands with the painted side facing the receipt so they can read it easily. Similarly, when someone give you a business card, you should also receive in both hands. After receiving it, don't immediately put it away. Instead, take a few minutes to read the person's name, job title, and company more carefully. If you were a business meeting, it is common to paste the business card neatly on the table in front of you when you are put it your business card. You should also avoid writing on someone else's business card or folding it into in front of them, as this can be considered impolite. Although this action may seem simple, they leave a strong first impression. Showing respect through proper business card equity can help build trust and create a positive business relationship from their very beginning. Okay. Now, like we're talking about gift giving, another important tradition in Chinese business culture. Gift giving is not simply about giving someone an item, it is a way of expression. A thoughtful gift can help strengthen business relationship and create long-term trust between companies and parents. A thoughtful gift can help strengthen business relationship and create long-term trust between companies and business partners. When choosing a business gift, it is important to select something meaningful but not too expensive because very expensive gift may make the other person feel uncomfortable or create the impression of very. The way a gift is wrapped is also important. In China, red paper is the most popular choice because the color red symbolizes happiness, success, prioritize, and good fortune. Gold is also considered a lucky color and is often used together when read during celebration. However, there are also gifts that should be avoided because they have native cultural meanings. For example, clocks are generally not appropriate because giving a clock sounds similar to attending someone's funeral in Chinese culture. Cash should also be avoided in most business situations because it may appear unimportant. In addition, gifts instead of four are usually avoided because the number four is associated with bad luck. When receiving a gift, many Chinese people may politely refuse it once or twice before accepting it. Understanding these customers helps foreign business professionals avoid misunderstandings and demonstrate cultural sensitivity. Okay, next let's talk about lucky and unlucky number. Numbers carry strong symbolic meanings in Chinese culture, and many business takes them very seriously. The most famous lucky number is 8. It is considered extremely fortunate because its pronunciation is similar to the Chinese word for wealth and prosperity. As a result, many companies prefer phone numbers, official address, license plates, or even price that include the number 8. Some businesses are willing to pay much higher price just to obtain phone numbers or office location containing several aids because they believe it will bring success. On the other hand, if I'm talking about the number 4 is widely avoided because its pronunciation is very similar to the Chinese word for death. Yeah. Company may also avoid launching products, signing contracts, or scheduling important meetings on dates that contain the number 4. Okay. Now I'd like to introduce one of the most important concepts in Chinese business culture, which is galaxy name. It refers to a network of long-term personal and professional relationships based on trust, mutual support, loyalty, and priority. In many Western countries, business relationship often begins with contracts and formal agreements. In China, personal relationship frequently come first. Business partners usually prefer to know and trust each other before making any kind of important business decision. It involves a regular communication, honesty, respect, helping each other when they need, and maintaining contact over many years. For example, business partners may share meals, attend social events, celebrate important occasions together, or simply spend time getting to know each other outside of his office. However, it is also important to understand that it should always be developed ethically and professionally. Today, many international companies offering in China invest significant time in developing Lunex because they recognize how is strong relationship for a long time business success. Finally, I would like to explain another crucial culture concept known as Mianji, which means face. Mianji refers to a professional reputation, dignity, honor, and social respect. In Chinese culture, protecting someone's face is extremely important because it helps maintain harmony and positive relationship with each other. For example, publicly criticize someone, correcting them aggressively, or embracing them in front of colleagues can cause them it loss face. They may damage trust and make future cooperation much more difficult. Likewise, someone's achievements in front of others of recognizing their contribution can help their gain face and strengthen professional relationship. For international manager and business professional, understanding Minanji is essential because communication style can greatly affect negotiation, teamwork, and leadership. Last but not least, understanding Chinese business culture is about much more than following rules. It involves showing respect, building trust, and appreciate cultural value. Simply practice such as exchanging business card correctly, giving appropriate gifts, respecting lucky numbers, building gongxi, and protecting nuance and significant input in the communication and business successful in China. Thank you very much for your attention. I will now hand over to our final presentation.
Thank you. Hierarchy plays an essential role in Chinese business culture. Age, experience, and job position are highly respected. When meeting senior executive, companies should send representative of similar status. Showing respect for hierarchy helps build trust and credibility. Negotiation style. In Chinese, negotiations are mainly patient and relationship oriented. Negotiation often prefer to understand the other party before revealing their own position. Decision may take time because trust is developed gradually. Patience and endurance are viewed as a sign of sincerity and professionalism. This case shows the importance of hierarchy. A US company sent a young representative to negotiate with a senior Chinese executive. The executive believed the company had not shown enough respect because of the difference in status. As a result, the negotiation ended before a business agreement could be reached. This example reminds us that understanding culture can directly influence business success. To conclude, successful communication in China depends on how much more than speaking the language. Understanding indirect communication, respecting hierarchy, protecting Mianzi, and building Guanzi are essential for creating strong and lasting business relationships. By adapting to those cultural values, international companies can improve cooperation and avoid misunderstanding. These are academic resources we use throughout our presentation following the Lab Harvard referencing style. They include books and journal articles on Chinese business culture, communication, and negotiation. Thank you so much for your attention. We would love to answer any of your questions.